Hello, this is Derek Iswell, Chief Investment Officer for Shelton Capital Management with the Shelton CIO Minute. With CPI reporting later this week, we'd like to discuss an important measure we followed at the CIO Minute over the last few years, the correlation of returns between stocks and bonds. So when inflation goes up, equities generally go down, and the yields for bonds go up, anticipating that central banks will be raising rates to combat inflation. And so bond returns go down as well. So in that type of situation, equities and bonds are correlated. The returns of equities and bonds are going up and down together. Contrast this with when economic growth weakens, the opposite happens. While equities still go down, rates on bonds go down in anticipation of central banks easing in order to stimulate their economies. And so bond returns actually go up. So in those situations, the returns for equities and bonds are going in opposite directions. So when we observe market behavior, watching whether stocks and bonds are moving together or opposite each other can tell us whether inflation or economic growth is the driving force behind market returns and central bank activity. Now, since early 2021, stocks and bonds have been highly correlated. They've been moving up and down together as inflation has been our primary concern. For the 20 years before that, however, we all remember that stocks and bonds were moving in opposite directions. And this diversification effect was really the foundation of the 60-40 portfolio that was popular during the 20 years. Now, in this following chart, you'll notice that that period is the anomaly, that the only time where growth drove markets instead of inflation, other than that 20-year period, was during the 50s. Otherwise, inflation has always been more important. And so let's keep this in mind as we observe more and new inflationary data coming in the future months. Inflation may stick around for a while, but watching the behaviors of stocks and bonds and how they perform relative to each other will let us know when it has passed as the primary concern for our market activity. For further questions on Shelton Capital, please don't hesitate to contact your local Shelton Capital representative. This has been a Shelton Capital CIO Minute.